What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be continuing the top 5 series, and today we are looking at the top 5 tech champions in the game. Now, tech champions, interesting class, because kind of like half the class, half the characters in the tech class, they're kind of Iron Man, right? Like half the characters, you've got Iron Man, you've got Iron Patriot, you've got Hulkbuster, and you have Civil Warrior, who's kind of like part Iron Man, and you've also got War Machine, who's very similar to Iron Man as well. So there isn't like too much diversity in the tech class, as a lot of the champions feel, in a way, quite samey, I guess. So I would like to see more tech characters added to the game. So there are currently, I think, 12 playable tech characters. So you've got all of these ones, but then you also have Kang and Ultron Prime. However, I'm not going to include those two in the listing because those are two very exceptionally rare champions and not really easily attainable to get for the majority of the player base. Anyway, let's talk about top 5, guys. Who's that number 5? And for the number 5 spot, I debated a bit on this one between Civil Warrior and Iron Man, kind of weighing up their pros and cons, but I've gone with Civil Warrior for the number 5 spot. So Civil Warrior, in my opinion, he's a good champion, but he is kind of a cross between Vision and Hulkbuster, but he doesn't really have any one of the things that makes either one of those champions great. So I'm not like fully sold on Civil Warrior. He is a good champion, has some very useful stuff. Some of the stuff that he has is a heal block on his heavy attacks, has quite a high % chance to inflict a heal block, but then if you chain on a special within 3 seconds, that is up to 10 seconds. So that's alright, not quite as simple as Vision's heal block though, so it's a little bit tricky to pull off that one. And the other redeeming factor, and kind of good point about Civil Warrior, on his special attack too, he does have quite a powerful power drain that does anywhere between its 40% to 59%, depending on the level and rank of the champion. So again, Vision special attack 2 is 100% power drain, so it's a lot more powerful. And the kind of other stuff that I guess Civil Warrior has is he has a lot of like armor up stacks, which if you're playing perfectly and really well, I guess are a little bit useful for helping this champion survive longer. He doesn't have like the Captain America style perfect block despite having the shield. So overall, I think he's a bit of like he's good, circumstantially quite useful, but he's just not great. He's not an amazing option like Vision is, and we're going to talk about Vision a little bit more in comparison to this character as we progress through the video. So guys, at that number 4 spot now, we're moving on to number 4. I have to say, guys, it is Rocket Raccoon for me. Again, Rocket Raccoon, amazing champion. So Rocket Raccoon is probably the biggest glass cannon champion in the game, has the highest attack of all the champions, and his signature ability allows him like every 10 combos to go up by a huge amount in terms of his crit rate, so that you're at the point after 20 hits where all of your attacks are critting. Such a fun champion to play, really enjoyable. Has his uses, you know, in Alliance Quest. He's quite fun to play, and if you are a very skilled player at the game, he's a good option for multiple aspects, especially when it comes to new challenges and stuff, maybe like even the Labyrinth of Legends, where you need to burst champions down as quickly as possible. But overall, he is just a little bit too squishy. He really does lack on health, which kind of sets the champion back a bit. But he's a really fun champion to play, and does have some uses in the game. Really good for also spam grinding arena for, what is it, the top tier people, because he's really high prestige. So he's one of those champions, along with Electro and Iron Fist, that a lot of the top tier players just continually reset to farm for points to get up to, you know, these 10-15 million milestones. So yeah, pretty good champion overall. Now at the number 3 spot, I'm going to go with Vision, and I'm only going to talk about the Vision Age of Ultron, because the classic Vision, I think is a little bit worse with his duped ability, in my opinion, because it's a lot less predictable and controllable when you're actually playing the champion. A little bit better for defense, but the Vision Age of Ultron is the much more attainable one, the one that you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to get when he pops up in the store. So Vision Age of Ultron is absolutely amazing. Only really when he's at a 4-star rank and he's upgraded. When he's like a 3-star or 2-star champion, he kind of sucks because his power steal hasn't fully been upgraded. But once you get into 330, oh my god. Ridiculous champion. So special attack 2 burns 100% of the opponent's power. This is amazing and very useful in so many circumstances, particularly Alliance War, for a variety of nodes and keeping the power down. And also when he burns through the opponent's power, it places a heal block on them, which again is really good for Alliance War and a variety of encounters and fights where you need to block the opponent's healing quite reliably, because what you can do is you can power drain him, and once you've done that with a level 2, his duped ability, if you've got the champion duped, is going to give you a burst of power, and you can just keep on getting to the level 1 and then just flipping away his power and pretty much get a 100% uptime on the heal debuff. So pretty good. Along with that, this champion's also poison and bleed immune. Again, very good for Alliance War attack, and take out some very tricky nodes, so that's really good. So overall, I kind of think like Vision to me is like a better version of Civil Warrior. You know, his perks are that he has increased power gain, immunity to poison and bleed, a lot more reliable heal block, and a lot stronger power drain. So that's kind of why I view Civil Warrior, should I say, as a lower tier champion than Vision, because Vision to me just is straight out better, right? So number 2, right, number 2 and 1. So number 2 and 1 are Star-Lord and sorry, it's Ultron. Number 2 I've placed, and Star-Lord as number 1. Now these two champions have different uses at different spectrums of the game, really. And let's talk about number 2 first, who's Ultron, who is basically the most badass Alliance War defender, or one of the most badass Alliance War defenders in the game. If you put him on a stun immune node, people can't stun and interrupt his healing that he does at 50% and 25%, which makes the fight a lot longer, combined with the fact that Ultron every 7 seconds has an evade, or he has an evade with a 7-second cooldown. So this really throws off a lot of players in Alliance War. They forget, and then Ultron just absolutely smacks them. So that's really good. His level 1 is really easy to evade, but his level 2, if you get him up to that power level, is a massive pain to evade, and a lot of people can't properly do it. Very similar to Spider-Man's, level 1. So Ultron, just a really great champion, has a ton of utility. He's also good for like Alliance quest exploration, when you're taking like the poison immune, poison and bleed paths and nodes and all sorts of stuff like that. Just a really great option all around. Can be a decent champion for questing as well, because you can, you know, tactically push him below either 50 or 25% to get a little bit more healing, so that you are, if you're playing smart, you're coming out of fights with more health than you went in with. So yeah, overall, just a great champion, has a lot of utility in the game, good Alliance War defender, good for Alliance Quest attack. And then finally, guys, we are on to Star-Lord. We're going to have a look at my 3-star Star-Lord, because I don't have my 4 or 5-star one duped. But what really makes Star-Lord so powerful is he's kind of like the weapon of choice for the majority of skilled players when it comes to stuff like Labyrinth of Legends. He's like top tier, he's the number 1 option at the moment. People have, even with a 5-star Star-Lord, people have managed to get some of the 1.4 million health bosses, the absolute Goliaths, down in a single fight. Like, he is so ridiculously powerful, and that is because for every 10 combo hits he has, it increases his damage by an additional 50%, and this keeps on going up and up and up, which makes this champion's damage just so crazy. Really fun champion to play, but again, he has a very different use to Ultron. You know, Ultron's good for Alliance War defense, whereas this champion isn't really good for that, but he's a really good champion to play, to get fights done really quickly, to fight like the big bosses in the game. He's a really good for Alliance Quest as well, as a boss killer, along with 4 in this character are just so good for killing, well, also Scarlet Witch, I guess, but for killing stuff like Kang and Cyclops and Storm, maybe not Groot, but you know, some of the tier 4 and tier 5 map bosses. So that is it for the ranking, guys. I'm gonna say Star-Lord is he's number 1 for me. He's just such a godly champion with pretty much unlimited damage. So I really like Star-Lord. But guys, you have to bear in mind that this list is based on my opinion and what I like as well. So some honorable mentions and also some good stuff. Obviously, we have Iron Man and Iron Patriot. So Iron Man, in my opinion, really good Alliance War defender. He's a little bit worse since Despair was added to the game, and now that people can quite reliably counter like healing, of his Arc Overload, and Iron Patriot is just a straight worse version of Iron Man, because when he Arc Overloads, it places like a really, really detrimental debuff on him called Burnout, which pretty much strips all his armor and defense, and he's really, really easy to kill after that. What is it? War Machine is good in Alliance Wall Defense and on unblockable level 1. Hulkbuster, good on an armor node in Alliance Wall Defense. Apart from that, doesn't really have like too much use in the game, but he is good for yeah, good for that. He's a really like annoying champion to take down. I feel like Hulkbuster was a lot more powerful when willpower was a thing, and you know, you had insane healing on willpower, because Hulkbuster does take a while to chip away and get down, but with the nerf to willpower, I feel like he's slightly less good. He's really easy to fight because you just bait his level 1 all the time, and his level 2, yeah, if you just bait his level 1, then that's no problem. And then again, we have the classic Vision, who is only really available when he comes up in the store for like, it's something ridiculous, like a couple of $100. And in my opinion, he's better for Alliance Wall Defense. However, overall in the spectrum of the game, there are better options, and you don't really need to lay down that money, in my opinion. So guys, that is it for my top 5 tech champions. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a little bit more about my thoughts and opinions on some of the tech champions and their uses in the game. Thank you for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. That'd be very awesome. Apart from that, guys, take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.